Bucks look like a problem. The Bucks look like a very big problem.
After months of speculation and drama, Damian Lillard finally got his wish. But instead of going to the Heat, he'll be teaming up with Giannis and the rest of the Milwaukee Bucks. This mega-blockbuster trade is definitely a game changer, not just for the race in the Eastern Conference, but for the entire league as well. The impact of this move was felt quickly. Just 24 hours after the trade, the Bucks were all of a sudden favored to win it all next season. On paper, the Bucks' new three-headed monster headlined by Giannis, Middleton, and Lillard looks downright scary and kinda unfair to some extent from an offensive vantage point. But with that said, what does Lillard really bring to the table for the Bucks, and how will he blend in with the new faces that he'll be playing with? Now, to begin with, the Bucks gave up Jrue Holiday and Grayson Allen, along with a couple of future picks in order to acquire Lillard. It's pretty clear that the Bucks sacrificed some of their defense in exchange for the offensive firepower that Lillard has, but with Giannis Antetokounmpo and Brook Lopez still anchoring their defense, I think this is a good trade-off that will benefit the Bucks down the road. And to add to this, the offensive contributions of both Holiday and Allen wouldn't be felt that much next season because Lillard's scoring production alone can pretty much cover all of it. See, they both averaged 29.7 points per game on 45, 39, 88 shooting splits combined, while Lillard, on the other hand, was the third best scorer in the league last season, averaging 32 points per ball game. And his shooting splits were actually even better than them, with a slight difference when it comes to three-point percentage. Now, the reason why this trade happened is that the Bucks needed someone who could carry some of the scoring load off of Giannis's back and provide him some serious assistance come playoff time. While Jrue Holiday was a decent offensive player, he's not at the same level as Lillard in terms of scoring. And aside from this, Jrue had a history of choking big time in the postseason from the scoring end. And so, replacing him with a scoring savant like Dame is definitely a big upgrade for the Bucks from whichever way you look at it. Without question, Lillard is one of the most dangerous and lethal scorers that the NBA has ever seen. He's a three-level bucket getter with an unlimited range who can make extremely difficult shots look so easy and destroy defenses by his lonesome. See, the thing that distinguishes Lillard from other great scorers is his ridiculously insane shot-making ability. You can see here that the Blazers didn't run any set as they just let Lillard do his thing. After a couple of hezzies, Lillard just torched DeAndre Hunter with a step-back J and drilled it in even with a hand on his grill. Now, another thing that makes him truly lethal from an offensive standpoint is his ability to make shots off the screen and in off-ball situations. You can see here that the Blazers run a flare screen here to free up Lillard. Once he got the space, Lillard gathered himself and just let it fly to splash it down with no hesitation. There's no better player than Lillard in terms of making pull-up threes last season, with an average of 2.7 makes a ball game. And as you saw in those clips, all he needs is a slither of daylight to knock his shots down. Now, if you stick on him or try to close him out, Lillard can simply switch gears and attack the rim. Look at this play right here. Knowing how lethal he is from the perimeter, Bullock picked up Lillard right away at the top. Lillard quickly notices this, and then he just splits the defense all by himself and attacks the lane with 5 white shirts scrambling to stop him. Since he's a serial scoring threat from virtually anywhere around the court, the attention that he generates and the gravity that he attracts stretches out the floor, and this eventually can create scoring opportunities for shooters like Middleton, Pat Connaughton, Malik Beasley, and Jay Crowder to wide open shots on the kickout. Anyways, containing Lillard in the half court is almost going to be an impossible task because he has developed an unlimited range in the last couple of seasons. See, as Lillard crossed the half court, the Rockets were already anticipating him to attack, but out of nowhere, Lillard just pulled from the logo and splashed it right down. Now, moments later, the Rockets already learned their lesson and picked up Lillard far from the basket. However, Lillard saw the huge space in the paint, and he just blew by his defender before wrapping it up with a facial. His ability to hit from deep and finish around the rim makes him so difficult to guard. And if you take a closer look at the numbers, you can see here that Lillard was one of the most dominant isolation scorers in the NBA last season, with an average of 5.7 points in 5 possessions, while having efficient shooting splits and ranking at 90% percentile. There's no question about what Lillard can bring to the table for the Bucks on the offensive end, but what I'm really looking forward to is how his pairing with the Greek Freak will tear up the league next season. Putting him in pick and rolls with Giannis is just going to be a matchup nightmare for any team. With Lillard's lethal outside game plus Giannis's unstoppable rim runs, these two offensive beasts have the potential to become the most dangerous one-two-way punch that the NBA has ever seen. Imagine that Giannis is the role guy here instead of Nurkic. Because Lillard poses such a huge threat from out there, the defense has no choice but to blitz him coming off a screen and roll. Since there are two guys all over him, Lillard can make an easy pass to the rim runner, which then leads to an easy basket or a monster dunk for Giannis. Anyway, both Lillard and Giannis are really good at getting to the line because of their aggressiveness whenever they drive inside. Last season, Giannis led the league in free throw attempts with 12.3 a ball game, while Lillard ranked 5th with an average of 9.6 free throw attempts. With this said, their two-man game will most likely end up in a sure bucket, regardless of whether it comes from threes, mid-range, driving attacks, or the foul line. Although the Bucks lost Drew Holiday in the shocking trade, the Bucks still have solid defenders in their starting lineup with Giannis and Brook Lopez holding the front court. In addition, the Bucks also have some serious depth as they parade a bunch of 3-and-D players like Pat Connaughton, Malik Beasley, and Jay Crowder to fill in the shoes that Grayson Allen has left. With this being said, the Bucks' offense will primarily revolve around either Lillard or Giannis, with Middleton acting as a scoring buffer if those two can't get going. But in my view, I think the Bucks will run a lot of two-man action between Lillard and Giannis, while the remaining three guys on the court will space out the floor and be ready to knock it down from deep once either of them spray it out the moment the defense clogged on them. We have seen super teams fail in the past, but this one looks promising. The reason why Lillard wasn't able to bring the Blazers over the hump was because he never had a legit big that could support him offensively. Giannis, on the other hand, never had an elite combo guard who could deliver in playoffs and score in clutch moments. I mean, the basketball gods could not script this any better. Lillard's outside game and insane shot-making ability perfectly complement Giannis's downhill drives and rim attacks, and together this elite duo might just be the greatest offensive pairing that we will witness to walk on an NBA court. The Bucks' offense looks solid on paper, no question about that. But is there any defense from the East that can stop them? Our pick is the Toronto Raptors for that mission. Check out our video about their unique defensive five. They are truly scary on the defensive end.